Today we're going to talk about a very important spiritual practice called highlighting. And technology has made it so easy for us. Remember, it's not just about reading the Bible. The Bible was written for correction, for encouragement, and for instruction. So it's important that when we're reading, we have this in mind. So we're going to be learning how to highlight using three major colors: yellow, red, and green. These are very important colors for highlighting so that you can refer to them from time to time. Now, you use yellow when you get revelations, rhema, when you get a strong message you don't want to forget. You use red when you see a command from God and you want to actually note it out and not forget. You use green when you see a promise, and then you now highlight it so that when you want to pray, it's easy for you to go back and pray using the promises, okay? So today we're going to look at reading the Bible with highlighting as a major spiritual practice. So let's just say I'm reading the book of Psalms and I'm reading Psalm 72. So you go to your YouVersion, you click on read, you click on Psalm, and I go to 72. Now this is Psalm 72. Remember, we did so many prophetic words, prayers from here, and I'm reading and I come across the verse that says the mountains shall bring in peace. Is a promise, so I highlight it with green. Is a promise, so I don't forget. So that whenever I want to pray, I remember to pray with this. And as I keep reading again, I see another strong promise. Then what do? I click on it. Once I click on it, it shows me all the icons, and I choose another green. It says he shall rule. So I click on it again. So at the end of the day, you can see all of the promises that I have seen today, okay? So when I finish my daily Bible reading, I'm not going to just walk away. I now meditate on everything that is clicked with green, that is highlighted with green. Everything that I highlighted, I meditate on them so it stays inside of me. And then it helps me when I want to pray. I pray the promises. Now, this is another day, for instance, and I'm thinking, where should I read? And I'm playing with my YouVersion, and I'm like, okay, I want to read the book of Psalms, the book of Leviticus. And I'm reading on my Leviticus. I click on Leviticus, and then I'm looking for, I want to read, say, verse chapter 19, and I go there, and I'm reading. There are so many instructions, so many commands. But I pick the command that comes out that I don't want to forget. This one says, do not defraud or rob your neighbor. And I'm thinking about it. So I click it with red. It's a command. I do not want to forget this. It says, do not hold back wages. And I work with so many people, I don't want to hold back their money. So it's something that I don't want to forget. So when you see a very strong command that you do not want to forget, no matter from what verse of the Bible you see it, you click on it with red. Every command you see, you click with red. Red is like an alert, reminding you this is an alert, this is an alert. Once you click on it, the colors come up, and then you pick the color based on what you want to, if it's an instruction, a command, or a promise. So now look at all the ones I've done. Now take my time to now go and meditate on all of the commands. I'm going to meditate on all of the commands. So it's not just about reading the Bible and covering it and walking away. I'll now take out time to do what? To meditate on all of the commands. This is the only way the Bible stays alive to you. This is the only way the command stays alive to you, so that it can actually become a practical thing you do every day. Okay, now this is another day, for instance, and then it's another new day, and I click on my YouVersion and I click on read, and then I click on the Bible, and right now, currently, this is what I'm reading. I'm reading Nehemiah. And then right here, I got Rhema. And I'm like, oh, this is something I don't want to forget. It's not a command, it's not a promise, but it's the message that touched me. So I clicked it, and I highlighted it with yellow. Yellow is when you get a message, when something is coming to you, or when you're learning something from something, okay? So this is another one, Sambalat and all of that. It was something that really touched me. So I clicked on it. I clicked on yellow is a message, okay? So this is a message. Whenever you get Rhema, when you're reading and something is teaching you a lesson, you stop and then you click on yellow. Yellow are for messages you don't want to forget. So when I clicked on yellow, it's highlighted it. So what's the next thing I do? I now go to my notes, okay? Now forget about this one. This doesn't concern you. I click on it, and then I go to my what? I highlight, and I click on the notes. So my note comes out, and I start to write what I got. Remember, journaling is a major spiritual practice. Journaling is a major spiritual practice. Never finish a Bible reading without clicking and writing on your notes. When you're writing on your notes, it's coming back. But there's a way to journal. The first thing you do is that you write Rhema, you write title, and then you give it a title. You must give it a title. Now you pick any title based on how you want to remember what you read. Look at me, for instance. What I read today was really strong to me. So I call it, if what I'm doing does not disturb the enemy, then it is not relevant. That is the title I want to give it to help me remember what I did today, so it stays strong to me. So once I give it a title, then I start writing. Please always give it a title. Whenever you get a strong message or lesson learned, always write that title. Give it any title to help you remember. It's a very strong, important practice. Now, so this is it for the day. I've finished my Bible reading, and then I'm looking at it. Now look at all the things I highlighted, the messages I got. It is very, very important. It's a very important spiritual practice. Now this is now when I go back to my U version, I go to the home page, I click on more. Can you see now? You can see the different colors. Now, when I look at all the different colors, it helps me remember, this is a command, this is a promise. So your spiritual life is structured. If I want to pray and I'm looking for promises, I just go on the home page and I click on more and I click on highlights and I see all the colors. I can start clicking only on the green. When I'm clicking on all the green one, what happens is that I see all the promises and I start praying with the promises, okay? So it's easy. It helps you to stay structured. It makes your prayer life more fervent. It makes your life more structured. It makes your work with, because sometimes I'm like, let me see a few commands I've actually clicked. Am I still working on it? I look at all the red and I know the things God has commanded me to do. There's something else I do. You now go to your home page again. Sometimes I just go there and I click on notes. It's not just about reading the Bible, and it's not about journaling. When I click on notes, I see all of the things that I have written. Look at it right now. This is the home page. It's a beautiful thing. Then I see all of the journals and I start clicking on every of the notes just to read it again. If you just write on your notes without going back to read it again, you're not going to be transformed. Because God is saying, do you want me to say something else to you? Meanwhile, you haven't done the last thing I said to you. So anytime you get a message and you get a rhema, a revelation, and you write it, remember it is very important. You go back from time to time to your notes. Some days, I open my Bible, I open my app, I don't read the Bible. I just go afresh. I go back to my notes and I start meditating on all of my notes. I start reading my notes. I click on each of them. Some of them I've forgotten that I ever did them. It is very, very important. The spiritual practices you engage in will actually highlight and make your life beautiful.